Specifications allow the engineer or architect to basically call out the kind of performance they want from the finish that's going on the structure that they're working with, whether it be a bridge or a building, a sign, what have you. And what you can do in these specifications for coatings is you can actually talk about the type of performance, but you can also shortcut that a little bit and talk about the type of resin chemistry that you know is trusted to give you the kind of performance that you want. So if you want something that's going to last a very long time and have the best durability, fluoropolymers are the chemistry of choice for that. And so when you're writing a spec, you can basically call out the performance you need, but you can also call out the chemistry as well. And that's a way to ensure that you're going to get a finish that's going to perform the way that you need it to. So obviously performance is key. And when we think about performance, we have to think about a couple different things. When we talk about durability, there's lots of ways to look at durability, namely color retention and gloss retention. In the architectural space, color retention is really very key, especially if you're doing bright colors. You want to ensure that that color is going to maintain its brilliance and its hue for the time that you need it to. So color retention is one that's often called out. Gloss retention may be important depending on the structure. So if you have a steel water tank that starts out very high gloss, you may want to have a gloss retention standard or specification in that as well. Oftentimes in architectural specs, you may see coating integrity. You don't want the coating obviously to peel off from the building or start cracking or chalking. So those are kind of the keys when it comes to the type of performance that you're looking for in a coating spec. So the FEVE resin technology can be used in coatings that meet the AMA 2605 standard, and the big key to that standard is to maintain 50% or more gloss retention after 10 years of weathering in South Florida, as well as maintaining a delta E of less than 5 units. So that's a key one in the architectural space. In Europe, a similar standard to that is the Qualicoat Class 3 standard. So depending on the market that you're in, there are some standards that call out the use of fluoropolymer technology. In most cases, that is true. And why that is because there are different types of coatings that are used in those applications. So for example, if you are, doing new construction and it's a factory application, you can use heat. You can use oven cure. That allows you to use powder coatings. It allows you to use other types of fluoropolymer systems that require heat to cure. With powder coating, for example, you also require special spray equipment like electrostatic spray. And right now, that technology is really limited to a factory environment. And so then when you move to a field application, you really don't have the ability to use an oven to cure. So you can't use heat. So then that's going to impact the type of coating system that you can actually use in that space. So it really does depend on where this is going to be used. And so if it's going to be a repaint or a restoration project on a building, you've got to find technology that can perform and cure and dry without the use of heat and ovens. And so that's really important to call out in your specifications. We talk about resins, we really are talking about resin chemistry. But in general, we can just use the term types, resin types, and there are many different types of resins, but in the exterior durable architectural space and bridge coating space, they're really just a handful. So you have your conventional polyurethanes, you have polysiloxanes. You could also have air dry or one component acrylic systems. You could also have super durable polyesters. In the fluoropolymer space, there's really two main types, and one of those is PVDF, polyvinylidene fluoride, and the other is FEVE, fluoroethylene vinyl ether. And in the fluoropolymer space, between FEVE and PVDF, it really depends on your application and the end aesthetic that you're looking for. So as far as performance goes, they both perform phenomenally well. They give you the best longevity in an organic coating system that you can find. But you really have to think about what kind of gloss you're looking for. If you're doing a high gloss water tank, you're going to be using an FEVE system for that, because that chemistry can actually achieve the high gloss required for those applications. If, for example, you're doing a liquid spray extrusion that's kind of a satin gloss factory application for, say, a curtain wall, you could use PVDF for that. However, if you wanted to do powder coating for that same extrusion, you're likely going to use FEVE. So again, that goes back to the importance of knowing the type of application environment that your project is going to be used in.